2b, it says the solution of one variable equation is the value of the variable that makes the equation true. What's the solution? So if you did not have the equation that I have above, which is 4x plus negative 8.4 equals 7.2, then you need to rework it to solve it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take this problem and continue to solve it here. We left off here. We have 4x plus a negative 4, and we need to add a positive 8.4 so it can cancel out, equals 7.2 plus 8.4. I mean, these cancel out. We have to add it to both sides. You're left with 4x equals, you have to line up your decimals. So 7 plus 8 is 15. And you line up your decimals, and you have 2 plus 4 is 6. So now to solve this, I have to divide both sides by the coefficient 4. So x equals 4 goes into 15 3 times. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 minus 15 is 3. If you bring down your 6, you have 36. 4 goes into 36 9 times. Okay? Basically, I was doing long division in my head. But you can actually work it out on paper because basically you're doing, I'm going to write it up here, 4 divided into 15 is 6/10. Bring up your decimal and then you divide. That's 3, 12, subtract. And then 4 goes into 36 9 times without a remainder. Okay. All right, so it says, what is the solution to this equation? 4 times the quantity x minus 2 1/10 equals 7 2/10. So the solution is x equals 3 9/10. All right, number C, letter C. Says, look at the equation, 4x minus 8 4/10 equals 2x plus 5. It says the terms 2x and 4x are like terms because they both have written coefficients with the same variable x. So because they both have an x, that make them like terms. So to combine 4x and 2x, they're on opposite sides of the equal sign. So therefore, you're going to subtract 2x from both sides. So it asks you to write an equation in the form of ax plus b equals c. And what's the solution to this equation? So we have 4x. I'm going to rewrite this equation over here. Go ahead and use a different color. So we have 4x. We have 4x minus 8 4/10 equals 2x plus 5. And I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides because I want my variables on one side and my constants on the other. That gives me 2x minus 8 4/10 equal to 5. Because when I subtract, this goes away. Now I'm going to add 8 4/10 to both sides because I want my variables to be on one side and my constants on the other. This 5, a decimal is here even though you can't see it. So, and you can actually put a 0 behind it if you like. So this cancels and I'm left with 2x equals, line up your decimals, and that's 4. 8 and 5 is 13. Divide both sides by 2. 2 is the coefficient. Therefore, x equals 6 7/10. Okay, so what's the solution of the equation? The solution is 6 7/10, which equals x. All right, letter D. And I hope you all have paused this video, worked out all the problems, and then go back and see what the solutions are so that you're not just copying. Okay, I hope you're doing that because if you're not going to learn that way. All right, let's look at part D. It says another way you can combine 4x and 2x is to subtract 4x from both sides of the equation. write 4x minus 4x minus 8 4/10 equals 2x minus 4x plus 5 in the form of ax plus b equals c, which is our linear equation form. Okay, so basically we're taking the same equation, and unlike the last equation, we subtracted 2x from both sides. In this case, we're going to subtract the 4x from both sides. Okay, which is different from what we did in part C. So we take the same equation and subtracting those from both sides. Let me cancel this out first. So when they subtracted 4x from both sides, this part of the equation here, you have to write it using integers. So that left you actually with a negative 8 4/10 equals a negative 2x plus 5. Because remember, and I'll do this right here on the side, when you have a negative being subtracted, a larger negative, you have to add the opposite. And unlike signs, you subtract and take the sign of the larger absolute value. That's why we ended up with negative 2x plus 5. Okay, so now we're going to subtract 5 from both sides. This cancels and leave you with negative 2x equals a negative 13 4/10. Okay, so it said, what's the solution to the equation? Well, in order to find a solution to the equation, we have to divide both sides by the negative. So we have negative 13 4/10 equals negative 2x. Dividing both sides by the coefficient 2, negative 2. Therefore, x equals a positive 6 7/10. Even though we get the same answer, one of the values, we divided a negative by a negative, which makes it a positive. And in the previous one, we had two positives divided by each other. Here, right? A positive divided by a positive gave us a positive answer. Okay? So you can find the right answer no matter which way you look at it. So you want to make sure that you pick the best method for you. Okay? So part E says the original equation has the variable on both sides of the equation. What happens to the variable after combining the like terms? The variable is now only on one side of the equation. Okay? Because remember, we wanted the variables on one side and the constants on the other. Okay? So at the end, we have the variable equal to a number. Okay? Or x equal a number. That's the whole goal. You want the variable on one side and a constant on the other, and you're undoing all of the operations to make it look like so. All right, so part 3, it says a reflection. So I want you to answer that question on your own. It says, which way of combining like terms in problem 2C and 2D, do you prefer? Explain. So this is basically looking back at question C and question D and saying, out of the two methods, which one do you prefer to use? So write your answer down and explain that in your answer. All right, let's move on. All right, so this is the next page, guys, which is page 229. For this, I'm going to give you some examples, but I want you to write the definitions in your own words. In those examples that you give, I want you to write what you think the coefficients are, okay, and what you think the like terms are, what are the terms, and so forth. All right, so I'm going to give you the examples, and I want you to go and write these in your own words. So if we have 3x plus 2 plus 5x as an example, I want you to write down what you think the coefficients are in your answer. Okay? Now, for the next example, take the same problem, but I'm going to add something else to it. We have 3x plus 2 plus 5x plus 4. I want you to write down what you think the like terms are. Okay? And for term, I'm going to write down 3x plus 2 plus 5x. And I want you to list the terms. For the variable, if I have 3x plus 2 plus 5x plus 3y, I want you to tell me what the variables are. Now tomorrow when we go over the lesson, I'm going to give you the answers to the examples so you can check it. But I want you to do it first to make sure you understand it, and then I'm going to give you the answer. But you are to do the vocabulary, this part in my own words. You need to write that in your own words. Okay? And for number 2, you also to do that on your own. We'll check those on tomorrow. All right? And look at the next page, which is page 230. You also are to do this on your own. Okay? You're going to write an equation to represent the situation about the price of the ticket before the discount. Okay? So you can look back on the problems that we did before to see if that'll help you. But I think you'll be confident in doing that. You're going to write the solution on the blank in a complete sentence, and then you're going to check your work. Okay? To check your work, you're going to make sure that when you get your answer, whatever you got for the value of x in your problem, you're going to take that problem, substitute the value of x into your original equation, and see if the left side of the equation equals the right side. All right? And we're going to check all of those on tomorrow. So make sure that you do your work, do your homework if you don't finish it in class, because we'll be moving forward, completing a lesson a day. And again, thank you all for watching. I did this lesson on my iPad, and I think I'm going to do the rest of them on there because it's easier for me to write on here. But this is the first day of using this program, and I hope you all like it, and I will see you on tomorrow. Have a great day.